Alrighty, folks. Well, welcome in. Thank you so much for joining us. How are we doing? How's everybody feeling? Miguel, how was the travel? You're doing all right? You're doing all right? Gather in. Don't be shy. Feel free to stop in on the presentation. So I want to introduce myself. My name is Wilton. I am the North American director for Rosewood. I've been a part of the cleaning industry for about 7 years now. So I know firsthand that the robotic cleaning industry faces some very big challenges. Challenges regarding machines breaking down, units that are unable to cope with real-life applications, and costly repairs that drain resources. At Rosewood, we asked ourselves, what if we could solve that? That is why we are here today. We are proud to announce the great unveiling of our Skywalker GT, the first ever industry-grade cleaning robot with a 2-year comprehensive warranty. Now, before diving into the details of our solutions, let me take a moment to introduce a little bit about ourselves and give you some context into the foundation behind our technology. So at Rosewood, a very clear distinction that we like to make. Yes, we manufacture scrubbers, but we are predominantly a technology company. We pride ourselves in innovation and coming out with brand new solutions. So we ourselves personally, we boast over 160 patents worldwide. Over 60% of our workforce is R&D related. So we take great pride in the fact that we bring out solutions that are brand new to the industry. We don't copycat, we don't white label anything. We manufacture and we create everything on our own accord. There you go. So a couple of things that set us aside and what it is we offer. We offer the first ever 2-year warranty for any sort of robotic scrubbers. Now, how we are able to do this and a little bit more about what sets us apart is our ZTE 5G connectivity. ZTE is a worldwide company. So while we are able to lean on their global sales and service network, we are able to deliver reliable, connected cleaning solutions that are supported anytime, anywhere, worldwide. So it's a very big deal. Now, as we sat down and we took a look at the market, we asked ourselves, how can we make the biggest impact? So after doing a little bit of market research, we noticed that robotic scrubbers were at the forefront of robotic solutions. We noticed that we are at the precipice of big change. The demand for robotic scrubbers is not going anywhere anytime soon, as indicated by the chart. We see that year after year, the demand is only growing for robotic scrubbers. So we sought out to figure out a solution that was going to be a one-size-fits-all solution. When we took a look at what solutions were already on the market, we realized there were some really big gaps in the market in terms of what there was to offer. We saw a lot of robotic solutions, but they were stopgap solutions. They weren't solutions that were going to fit every sort of scenario, every sort of need. So the main issues that we sought to solve and that we saw in the market was stability and dynamic environment. So we saw a lot of the robotic scrubbers that were already on the market were struggling with ever-changing environments. So in shopping malls or grocery stores, we saw the robotic scrubbers were struggling a lot. We also saw that there was no robotic scrubbers that had the ability to handle a heavy-duty environment. So manufacturing centers, warehousing, a lot of facilities with a lot of debris. These robotic scrubbers were not able to cope with those sort of demands. And primarily, or one of the biggest things that stood out as well, was the difficulty to maintain these robotic scrubbers that were on the market. There was a lot of robotic scrubbers on the market, but very few were very easy to maintain. A lot of them had a lot of issues, as illustrated by these pictures. So we asked ourselves, how will we solve these problems? So our engineers set out to figure out a comprehensive solution to all these issues. So if you want to take a look at the screen, I'm going to show you a quick video that gives you an overarching view of what our engineers were able to come up with. there you have it, the Skywalker GT. I've got to say, I'm a bit biased, but I thought that video was fantastic. My hat's off to the marketing team. Very, very impressive. But that's what it looks like when you have hardware, software, and networking all working seamlessly together to provide you with a comprehensive solution. You have the Skywalker GT. So I'm going to go ahead and break down 3 pillars behind the design of the Skywalker. These are 3 things that our engineers focus on when designing the Skywalker. So if there's anything you take away from this presentation today, I want you to remember these 3 words: stability, serviceability, and adaptability. These 3 are the pillars behind the design for the Skywalker: stability, serviceability, and adaptability. So when we take a look at stability, what are we talking about? What does stability mean? When we think about stability, we think about longevity, we think about durability, we think about the ability to withstand anything that an environment may be able to throw at our machine, hence the stability. That's why we know, or we have the utmost confidence in the design behind the robot, which is why we offer the 2-year warranty, market-leading 2-year warranty. We know that it has a robust design. Now, to go a little bit into how our robot has that sort of stability, I'm going to give you a little breakdown on the actual mechanics behind the Skywalker GT. So we have what's called next-gen robotic platform. So a couple of unique designs that are unique to the Skywalker. The Skywalker GT uses aerospace-grade components. This is groundbreaking. This is revolutionary. Nobody's ever done this before. So components of only the highest quality go into the scrubber, ensuring that stability component that we were talking about, and ensuring that longevity. We've also implemented a 48-volt drivetrain. The industry standard is 24-volt. We're using 48-volt. So what does this allow us to do? This allows us to draw a lower amperage, causing us to use less wear and tear, and have a longer runtime, along with a greater down pressure. Let me see here. So as we continue, the second pillar, the maintenance piece, the serviceability. The biggest thing that we've heard from our distributors and from end users is that these machines are very difficult to maintain and replace. You buy a scrubber, you sell it to a customer, and within a few weeks you have an issue with the scrubber, and it takes weeks to solve, and all of a sudden your relationship with that customer is tarnished because you're not able to service the scrubber. So our engineers sought to make the Skywalker GT as user-friendly, as maintenance-friendly as possible. How do we do this? With these 3 points: core components disassembly, cleaning consumables replacement, and a modular design. Now, I want you guys to take a very good look at this. This is groundbreaking. This is revolutionary. As somebody who's been dealing with scrubbers for over 7 years, the fact that we have an interchangeable scrub deck is unbelievable. I was very happy when our engineers introduced this. So our core components are able to be replaced in under 10 minutes, 10 minutes or less. So what does this mean for distributors? It means half the stock, right? Because if you're trying to figure out between stocking a disc solution or a cylindrical solution, you're not sure who you're going to sell to. Now you stock one machine and you're able to swap out the scrub deck. And that also makes it so much easier to service. If your machine has an issue, you can get to those key components and you can swap them out within 10 minutes. Now, the cleaning consumables. I've seen this time and time again, and I'm sure if you've dealt with scrubbers ever before in your life, you've seen the same issue, right? You see a scrubber thrown in the corner of the room, neglected, not used, because it's underperforming. A squeegee's torn or worn out, the discs are worn out, and nobody knows how to service the scrubbers. We've created an intuitive design to make it super easy to swap out the consumables. You swap out the squeegees within 10 seconds and the brushes as well. So what this allows us to do is just your average end user, your average janitor is able to swap out the squeegees with minimal training, ensuring that your robot is working at its optimal performance. So when we combine all this together, what does it mean for you? It means reduced operating costs. We have you in the forefront of our mind, our distributors. We want to ensure that we're preserving the bottom line and preserving your margin. So all these work together cohesively to ensure that we're reducing your operating costs. Now, as we move on to the final piece, the adaptability piece, as we were discussing, the engineers wanted to create a one-size-fits-all solution. So one robot that'll go ahead and be able to be used in any sort of environment. We can confidently say that we've put the Skywalker in many different applications, and it's not only succeeded, it's excelled. We've put it in supermarkets, hospitals, warehousing, manufacturing, distribution centers, shopping malls, subway stations, with great success. Now, how were we able to accomplish this adaptability? We use a program called omnisensing. So we don't rely on just one sensor. We have 3 different components that allow the Skywalker GT to have a full access of 360 view of what's going on around it. It's got a 2D LiDAR at the bottom. It's got a 3D LiDAR up top. It's got an LGVD vision camera, and it also uses ultrasonic sensing. So when you combine all these together, the robot has a full comprehensive view of what's going on around it. Why this is important is the safety aspect. This ensures that the robot will never hit anything. We are very proud to say that we have not had a single accident reported with the Skywalker to date. On top of that, it also uses real-time AI decision making. So it uses a deep algorithm to figure out not only the safest, but the most efficient way around different obstacles or whatever may be coming its way. Now, as we continued our market research, we thought we had a solution that fit everybody. One thing that we noticed as we were implementing inside the hospitals is that a lot of end users were asking us for a quieter solution, right? Schools, for example, running scrubbers during the day, hospitals running scrubbers at night. We had a lot of folks complaining about noise levels for the scrubbers, for the traditional scrubbers. So our engineers were able to create a clever design, allowing us to have a quiet mode that operates at 60 decibel levels. That's industry leading. Nobody else can boast the same. Many competitors, their quiet mode will operate around 70 decibels. So we're significantly above anybody else in the market. So just going back, not to beat a dead horse, but just going back to some of those key attributes about our design. So best in-class performance, the down pressure is unparalleled, the extended runtime. We have a 5-hour runtime. The tank size is 46 liters as well. Now, I wanted to give you a little foresight into what it might look like when your end users are dealing with the Skywalker GT. So we're going to give you a quick glimpse at what the user experience is like and the operational value that it brings to the facilities. So many other solutions on the market will boast that they are quote-unquote autonomous, but they only provide partial solutions to your floor cleaning. We are proud to present the 5-in-1 docking station for the Skywalker GT. So what does this mean? This means it's a comprehensive, full solution to your floor cleaning. So once you've mapped out your facility, the Skywalker GT has auto charging, auto drainage. It fills itself. It's got a water jet to clean the inside of the dirty tank, and it's also got a dilution system. So if you want to use chemicals or any sort of degreaser in your facility, it automatically dilutes the solution for you. So anything you could possibly imagine, the Skywalker GT will take care of it for you. This is very interesting. The one-tap start NFC card. So what this would look like, we have a lot of issues with accountability and being able to track what goes on with the robot. The NFC cards, what it allows you to do is different levels of authority will have different cards to allow you to with different accesses to the machine. So for example, if you're a manager, you'll have a different access card which will allow you to alter the settings on the machine and the routes. If you're an end user, you'll be given another card that maybe will only start and stop the machine, but won't give you any access to the actual settings on the machine. It's just a visual of different places that we deployed the Skywalker with great success. High quality service. Oh, let me see here. So, high quality service and quick response. We have the capability to provide on-site service in almost every European country. We have strategic partnerships that allow us to provide this in-depth support. We are the only company that can provide this. This is a big differentiator between us and other competitors. So to give you a step-by-step, if you are interested in the Skywalker, what does the next step look like? if you're asking yourself, like, how tough is this? So we have a lifetime service, so we take care of you from beginning to end. What we do a pre-sales call. So we'll do a proof of concept. We go check out your facility. We do a site survey to ensure that this product is the right product for you and it's going to be the right application. After that, once you purchase the machine and we've delivered the machine, we do an implementation technical training. So anybody who might come across the Skywalker, we interact with them and we give them a broad, overarching view of how to operate the scrubber. So there's no variables within the deployment. Now, after sales, once we have it mapped, everybody knows how to use the Skywalker and it's running autonomously, we do after sales support. So the software updates we do remotely. We don't need to be on site for them. We do them as the machine is dormant and not in operation. However, we also do offer remote maintenance, almost around the clock online support. So if you have any issues or you want to alter a route, we're more than capable of supporting you. So with our connection to ZTE, we understand the importance of information security. One of the questions we get time and time again, because it is a robot, well, where does the information go? Is my information secure? Right? I don't want to allow a robot to come into my building and scan the building. As a technology giant, we know how to keep your information secure. That's at the forefront of our thinking. We want to make sure that you have utmost confidence in the robot and in your informational security. That is why we provide any sort of tailored solution. So we have public clouds as well as private clouds and anything in between that you may request. We're able to help you with that. It's a little bit of our entire product line. So we went over the Skywalker GT today, but we do have a larger for bigger industrial applications as well as a sweeper as well. So just to recap, our primary purpose today is to find distribution partners. So if you're interested, please stop by our booth.